Welcome back to Coast View. I really enjoyed that conversation with Julian Rankin from the Walter Anderson Museum. He's such a bright young leader here in coastal Mississippi. Not only does the Walter Anderson Museum do amazing things and represent an incredible artist and other artists for that matter, but the outreach that they do into other communities to help build better communities. I mean, it's just great to have smart people leading nonprofit organizations here in coastal Mississippi and making their mark. And Julian is certainly making his mark. Now let's shift gears. I want to move over to my friend Kenny Vest, the market manager for SuperTalk Mississippi Media here on the coast. And first, I'll just say hello. How you doing, buddy?
Ricky, I'm doing great. How are you, man?
I'm doing really, really well. Hey, so we're going to get into what SuperTalk Mississippi Media is for people who have not heard Kenny and I talk before. But Kenny, just to start out with, I just want to say it's amazing to me. Next January the 6th will be 2 years since Kyle and I, and then eventually Cammie joined the team, started Coast Vue. It's amazing that it's been 2 years, man. I mean, time has really flown by, hasn't it?
Boy, it really has. 2 years. It seems like we were all sitting in the conference room a few months ago. But what a journey, and it's wonderful and great to see the show evolve and grow. And it's a popular show, and it's going to continue. You've done a great job, Ricky. Love it.
Well, I've enjoyed it. As I said all along, I'm going to continue to do this in my retirement as long as I feel like we're making a difference. One of the reasons why the main, as I've said many times on the air, I want to make a difference. I forgot how much I enjoyed connecting with the community, something you get to do when you're a publisher of a newspaper. I forgot what I'd learned about what it takes to build a strong community and all these great relationships that I had. It was nice having a 4.5 year break after having worked my entire career. But it's been great reconnecting. And without the P&L responsibilities and all the things that go with being a CEO, it's great to be able to come in here to the studio, have an amazing conversation with someone, and let them be the star. I'm just facilitating these conversations, but it's been a lot of fun. I think we're making a difference. And you look at the feedback that we're getting and the fact that when we reach out to people to be on the show, no one ever says no. Those are all positive moves for sure. And you guys, Kenny, you and your team and the team from Jackson have been tremendous support. I mean, we wouldn't be here with this show where we are today. I mean, I'm not a radio guy. I've just had to learn how to have conversations with people with a microphone, and you guys have done everything else, and it's been a great team to work with.
Yeah, it's we do have a great team. It sounds cliche, but our whole company, all the way from Jackson and to the coast, it's all professionals. We know the goal, we know the mission. We all have the same vision, and we're here. And having this show being on the air daily and such a voice in the community, it's great having this show, Ricky. And I hope you continue for years to come.
Yeah, well, we'll see about that. But again, as long as we're making a difference, we're going to stay involved. One last thing about SuperTalk Mississippi Media for people who've not heard Kenny and I talk before. Steve Davenport, who started this company, owns a bunch of radio stations across Mississippi. But is the current number 26, Kenny?
I believe that's it. Yeah, 26, 28 maybe.
Yeah, and there are 12 radio stations that are part of the SuperTalk Mississippi network. And so the SuperTalk channels and all the other channels fall under the corporate description, which is SuperTalk Mississippi Media. Specifically as it relates to SuperTalk Mississippi and the radio stations related to that. I mean, he's bought radio stations across across the state, so that there's really nowhere you can be in the state and not have access to this channel. And it's a very unique approach. It's one of the, if not the only approach like it by a private owner in the United States. And then when you add to that the other stations that they bring to the table, we'll talk about the coast stations here in just a second, with the fact that they've grown into this sort of multimedia powerhouse, Facebook and YouTube and podcasting, and then developing a new division of the company over the last few years, SuperTalk Mississippi Digital. And when you think about what they bring to the table in terms of advertising solutions, in terms of being able to get to audience wherever audience is, this company has really evolved, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. Again, Steve's goal was to be heard in all 82 counties, which is, that's not easy to do, and he's accomplished that. And SuperTalk is such a strong voice, again, in each individual market, but statewide. It's a very influential network, and it's a great network. And yeah, we're pivoting and growing the company. As far as digital and everything else we offer, it's now become a full-blown media company, and we can do it all from digital to TV to, of course, radio. And if you don't evolve, you kind of die, the old saying. But this company is certainly evolving, especially in the last 12 months.
What's interesting, Kenny, and I've said this before, but whereas newspapers, the printed newspaper is fast moving to where it will all be digital at some point. And it's certainly what's caused that is the advertising model for newspapers, the high cost of advertising in newspapers. All that revenue is shifted to digital media and other traditional medias like radio, for example. One of the things I was most surprised about when I came to this company was learning that terrestrial radio, the radio that you get on your car when you get in your car, if you're sitting in your office listening, that terrestrial radio compared to other traditional media is really performing pretty well compared. I mean, radio is kind of holding its own in this digital age because there are a lot of reasons for that, but advertisers understand that you have the opportunity to make commercials really quickly. You can decide to do a commercial today, and within a very short period of time, you can have something running. That quick turnaround is really important. Radio is a great opportunity for doing branding and marketing and doing event-specific marketing. But anyway, radio's held its own. And then when you add to that the digital side and the kind of people that this company has hired, it's incredible what the future holds for this company, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Radio obviously is still strong, especially with a unique network like SuperTalk. You're not going to find that in very many places, and especially here throughout the state. So that aspect of our company is extremely strong with the SuperTalk network. But you're right. Our music stations are thriving, but if you don't grow and evolve, like I said a few minutes ago, you're gonna have problems. And adding SuperTalk Mississippi Media Digital is such a shot in the arm, and it's in its infancy stages right now. But we hired James Wynn to be the VP of Digital, and it's off to a huge start, as you know, Ricky. Some big digital accounts, and that's going to grow as well. So the future's bright. 2022 should be good. I'm being real positive here, but it's real. It's realistic, and we're excited.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And you're right about James Wynn. I came from the digital media world, and in the organizations that I had, James Wynn would have been in my inner circle. He's as good as anybody I've ever seen. He's a great communicator, cares deeply about people. He knows what he's talking about, and the internal capacity the company's built around digital, whatever your digital needs are, is truly incredible. Hey, let's remind people the radio stations that are part of the SuperTalk Mississippi Media Network here in coastal Mississippi.
Okay, we have SuperTalk, which we're on right now, 103.1. We have 105.9 The Monkey, which is the top 40 station, the Heritage top 40 station, has been here for over 20 years. We have 97.9 CPR Rocks, which is another Heritage radio station. It's an active rock station. Has been here for 26 and a half years. We have G96.7, which is a throwback station, doing really well ratings-wise. It's a very strong product for us. And our newest station that we just launched, we relaunched Bob FM, and now it's on 106.3. Bob used to be back on 105.9. And we just brought it back in October, and again, that's off to a great start. Kyle and I are heavily involved in that, and it's an easy station to listen to. Every song's a hit, quirky presentation, and that's our latest product.
Yeah, I've enjoyed listening to it myself because you never know what you're going to get. It's that station, in terms of the attitude and in terms of the music, is like a box of chocolate, man. I mean, you really never
Yeah.
know what you're going to get. Who decides what sort of that humorous edge is all about?
Well, believe it or not, that's me. I do the imaging, write the imaging. But that's the station's not going to have DJs ever. It's just we don't do that at that format. And on Bob. So the personality of the station is what's in between songs. And so a guy that does our voice work is one of the big time voice actors in the country, and we get together and write sarcastic, quirky, just almost dad joke type stuff, and it's just so silly, but it fits right in between songs. So that's the personality, and Kyle and I do the music, and so far so good.
Yeah. So anyway, when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Best.
You can also listen live to SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast 103.1 on your Amazon Alexa devices. Once you've enabled the skill, just say, Alexa, open SuperTalk Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Welcome back to Coast Vue. One of the things, I've said this before, but when I decided to come in off retirement, again, I feel like I'm still retired, that I'm doing this kind of labor of love to connect with the community. I get as much from this as anyone. I believe that the more you learn, the more you better learn how much you don't know, so that life's a journey of discovery. And as a publisher, I never really got a chance to have these long conversations with people, except maybe in an editorial board with the governor or something like that. But we were moving always so fast. And the opportunity now to really concentrate on specific people for up to 24 hours each in preparation for the show and to have these deep conversations, man, it's, I hope that I know I get a lot out of it. I hope that you get as much as I get out of it. But that's one of the reasons I did it. But as I said before, I wouldn't have done this job. I wouldn't have come on to do this show, Coast Vue, if I didn't have incredible support. And one of the people that really convinced me that I need to do this is Kenny Vest. Because Kenny's a guy, I didn't know Kenny. I knew of him. But when I sat with him for the first time, I realized almost immediately why so many people like Kenny. I mean, Kenny's the kind of guy, you're never going to hear anything bad about Kenny. Kenny's just got so many friends. And he's got so many connections in the industry. When you hear the CPR story and what they did to build that station, it's just truly remarkable. But Kenny, you're a modest guy, but you do have a lot of connections in the industry, don't you?
Well, yeah, I do. Yeah. I mean, doing it for 26 years here, 10 years back in New Orleans. I mean, it shows how old I am. But yeah, you make develop friendships, relationships, and a lot of the guys that I started with are now in high positions around the country, literally around the world in the broadcast business, and we've all stuck together. So yeah, got some great friends in the business, and they a big help for us when we need to do big things that a lot of markets this size wouldn't be able to do.
One of the things that made CPR Rocks so incredibly popular was from the very beginning through today, you guys are like really focused on the selection process for music. I mean, you've never really modified that approach. It's a weekly, rigorous process, and it has paid off, and you have a reputation for it. And it's also really developed a really close relationship between you and the recording studios and others. And you've been able to maintain that over the years. How have you kept that momentum after so many years of doing it?
I've said before, Scott Fox and Scott's the music director for CPR. We have met every Tuesday morning or afternoon for 26 years, and that is ad week is what it's called in the business, where you add new music and you take some music out that you feel has run its course. All new titles. You don't mess with the gold stuff, the older stuff that we play, the 90s alternative stuff. But so this is all new music, and you look at charts and you look at research and you look at streaming numbers, but in the end, we use our gut, which a lot of companies aren't able to do. So for all these years, Scott and I, in the end, it's our gut feeling on a song, and when we both think something's going to be a hit or fit nicely in for CPR, and it may be, some of the research may show maybe you wait on this, but if we feel strongly, our gut puts it in rotation, and we've done that all these years, and it's been successful.
But it's those relationships that made the CPR Fest, which was so popular over so many years, so successful. You were able to really leverage those connections, and it was really more than just a series of concerts. Is there a chance the CPR Fest will come back?
Ricky, yes. In fact, CPR Fest is coming back on Saturday, April 2nd at the Coast Coliseum. Outside on the lawn, it's come full circle. Our first one there was in 1997. We took a brief hiatus the last couple of years, but there's an appetite for it. We hear basically daily, when is CPR Fest coming? We want a CPR Fest to come back. So it's coming back April 2nd. And we feel the lineup that we'll announce on January 7th is going to be a big lineup, big name bands, millions and millions of records sold. And so we're really excited. So April 2nd, outside of the Coast Coliseum, CPR Fest is back.
Well, that's exciting news. One of the things that makes this company so successful is that you're focused on the future. You're focused on the role of radio and the role of digital, the role of events. You guys, you really kind of revolutionized the way something like a CPR Fest could be done. So I'm not surprised to hear that it's coming back. But this integrated approach that you take toward events has led to other events. Are there other events coming back as well this year?
Yeah. 2021, we did 3 food truck fest. The city, Billy's office called last week. We're gonna bring back the Ugly Tie Fest in downtown Gulfport in June, and then we've done 2 at Big Play Entertainment that we will be doing in 2022 as well. So yeah, those events will happen. There's talk of doing even more of events those size. After CPR Fest. So 2022 will be a very active year for this company on special events.
Well, listen, congratulations on 2021, and hope you guys have a great new year. And it's a privilege to be associated with your company, and look forward to working with you in 2022.
Me too, Ricky, man. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you do, and I look forward to 2022 working with you too.
You bet, buddy. Take care. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.